My neighbor befriended me and my kids, gained my trust as a babysitter, then secretly manipulated them into believing he was their father, and tried to frame me for neglect to steal them. Now he's begging me to let him have his life back. I moved into a new neighborhood with my 2 kids, Angela and Justin, ages 6 and 8, about 6 months ago. On my first day there, I was greeted by my neighbor, Tom. He was energetic, good with kids, and such a fast talker that when he told me he was Spanish, I didn't even get the chance to mention I knew the language. Either way, my kids loved him. After a few months, he was already babysitting them every time I went to work. The first red flag showed up when he began making unsolicited parental suggestions. He'd tell me when to put them to sleep, what medicine to give them, what food to feed them. When I kindly asked him to stop, he said, "I'm sorry. You know I'm infertile, and I almost see these kids as my own. Imagine you weren't able to have kids. You'd be doing what I am too." I felt sorry for him. Since he wasn't a danger to the kids, I kept letting him babysit. But then, I started noticing him turn my kids against me. At first, it was subtle. "Tom lets us play and doesn't make us have nap time," Angela told me. "Yeah, he gives us chocolate before we eat," Justin added. At the time, I thought Tom was just trying to seem fun. But then my kids' comments became more manipulative and disturbing. They'd say things like, "Tom said he'd be a better dad than you are a mom." "Tom told us to listen to him and not you." "Tom said he wants to be our dad, but can't because of you." I felt my blood run cold. I wanted to storm to his house and scream at him, but my kids loved him. I had to be careful. This past weekend, I invited Tom over to talk civilly and set boundaries. I even prepared dinner and cleaned the house to keep things calm. I hadn't planned to tell my kids Tom was coming, but they overheard me. They got so excited. When the day came, they kept saying, "Don't ruin it, Mom. Don't make Tom angry at us." As soon as Tom walked in, he knelt to hug them. He spent a full minute making funny faces with them. But when he stood up and our eyes met, his energy shifted. I invited him to sit at the dinner table, but he refused, asking to sit on the couch instead. So the kids can sit on my lap. I told him the conversation wasn't appropriate for them. He smirked and said, "That's nonsense." Then he looked at my kids and asked, "Do you want to stay with Uncle Tom?" "Uncle Tom's right," Angela yelled. "We want to stay with him." I felt myself breaking. Every time I tried to speak, Tom steered the conversation to use my kids against me. We ended up watching a cartoon, and the whole time, Tom flashed this creepy smile at me, like he'd won. Then he got a phone call. He excused himself to the hallway. I couldn't hear well at first, but I recognized Spanish. He still didn't. No, I spoke it. I pretended to get water, pressing my ear to the door. What I heard made my legs go weak. Tom was mocking me to his friend, bragging, "Just a few more months before they're mine. I've already turned them against her. All I need is to frame her for neglect. CPS will take her kids. And guess who? They'll give them to me." Then, the worst part. Children are so easy to manipulate. Offer them a surprise, act disappointed if they don't comply, and they'll tell you anything. I went back to the couch, fists clenched. When Tom returned, smiling like nothing was wrong, I smiled back, because I'd thought of a plan. That night, after he left, I sat in the dark, realizing the truth. This man had wormed his way into our lives to steal my children. By morning, my shock had turned to fury. I called in sick, dropped the kids at school myself, and called my sister, Maya. "He's been doing what?" she screamed. "Planning to frame me for neglect and take my kids," I repeated, the words still unreal. Maya was right. I needed evidence. I ordered nanny cams and voice recorders. While the kids did homework, I researched manipulation tactics. Every detail matched Tom's behavior. That evening, Justin asked if Tom was coming over. When I said no, Angela whined, "But Fridays are Tom days." He'd created routines I didn't even know about. I asked what they talked about with him. Justin looked uncomfortable. "Secret stuff. Tom says some things are just between us." My stomach dropped. "You know you can tell me anything, right? Even secrets?" Justin glanced at Angela. Tom says you wouldn't understand, and you might get mad. The next day, I texted Tom. Kids are asking for you. Work emergency tomorrow. Can you babysit? He replied instantly, can do 7-9 p.m. Perfect. I set up the cameras. Tomorrow, Tom would walk right into his own trap. But when I casually mentioned a trip to Grandma's, the kids panicked. Tom has a special surprise for us Saturday, Justin said. He was already planning something. While they were at school, I searched their rooms. Under Justin's mattress, I found a burner phone with only Tom's number saved. The texts read, call if mommy acts weird. Call if she tries to take you far away. I found an identical phone in Angela's stuffed animal. Then, the school dropped. A bombshell. Tom had picked them up twice last month, claiming to be their authorized caregiver. That night, I tested him. I acted stressed when he arrived, mentioning work problems. He immediately pounced. The kids look neglected. Have they eaten? I mumbled, they had snacks. I'll order pizza. He clicked his tongue, loud enough for them to hear, and said, they need proper nutrition, not junk food. Then I dropped the bait. I'm thinking of moving closer to my parents. His face darkened. That would disrupt them. He steered me to the kitchen, where his mask slipped. What the hell are you doing? He hissed. You're ruining everything. Got him. I pretended to reconsider. The next day, I packed boxes labeled kitchen and toys in the front yard, like we were moving. Tom drove by 3 times before stopping. Spring cleaning? He asked, eyeing the boxes. Actually, a job in Colorado. I lied. Better schools. His face twisted. You can't take them. They need me. They're my children, I said calmly. For now, he whispered. But if you try to leave, I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of mother you are. That night, I caught him peeking through our windows. The next morning, I took the kids to my parents' house, but Tom followed us. I lost him and dropped them off safely. When Maya and I returned home, the door was ajar. Drawers were rifled through. Tom had broken in. Maya called him, pretending to panic about the police. His response chilled me. This is perfect. Unstable. Mother leaves her house unsecured? That builds the case. Smoking gun. We set up a final meeting, with police and child services hidden in the next room. When Tom arrived, I played the recording of him threatening me. He sneered, "No one will believe you over me." Then Officer Reynolds stepped out. "Actually, we just heard everything." As he was arrested, Tom snarled, "Those kids will never believe you. I'm the only one who truly cares." The hardest part came. Next, undoing his lies. The kids screamed that I was lying about Tom. Justin shouted, "You're just jealous we love him more." Therapy revealed Tom's worst deception. He'd told them he was their real father. "Someday, I'll tell you why I couldn't. Be your dad from the beginning," he'd texted. "Your mom kept us apart. It took months to rebuild their trust. But slowly, they began to understand." 2 years later, we moved to a new home. The kids chose what to keep from that dark chapter. Angela kept one bracelet, nothing else. Last night, Angela whispered, "I'm glad Tom didn't win, Mommy." "Me too, sweetheart," I said, smoothing her hair. From his doorway, Justin added, "We're the winners. Our team. And that's what home really is. Not just a place, but the love no one can ever steal."